Unusual fan art is not something that's new to the internet. Bizarre ships, over-sexualized drawings, and strange fetish content have all become commonplace in fandoms of fictional media. While the content produced by these sub-communities is incredibly unusual and often verges on the edge of social taboos, a case can be made that these people aren't doing anything implicitly harmful or dangerous. However, the same cannot be said about an Instagram account that I recently stumbled upon. On June 18th, 2025, a Reddit post would be made titled, "I found this creepy account on Insta who is posting his kidnapping fetish." The post describes an Instagram account, John Whalen 69, that has been posting disturbing content related to cartoons and children's shows, with posts dating back as far as November 20th, 2023. At a first glance, this account seems mostly harmless. The account mainly consists of videos and screen recordings of popular children's TV shows with pop music in the background. Posts with characters from shows like My Little Pony and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, accompanied by songs from popular musicians like Sabrina Carpenter and Nicki Minaj, don't immediately erase any red flags. But when you take a look at this account's story highlights, is when this story goes from a dedicated fan to something far more concerning. When you open John's story highlights, you'll be immediately met with countless story posts featuring cartoon characters with duct tape over their mouths. Dozens of duplicated screenshots with a collection of the same duct tape stickers plastered over the characters' faces, with others showing freeze frames of the same characters in suggestive, compromising positions and being forcibly restrained. There are 25 photo albums with hundreds of these extremely strange photos. The stark difference between the main content of the page and these disturbing story highlights is obviously a shock to every user that's had the misfortune of coming across John's account. It's giving serial killer early warning signs. Please go to jail. Smart Schoolboy 9 2.0. Any way you look at it, these story posts are incredibly disturbing, but a further realization just adds to how disgusting this account truly is. A large percentage of the characters featured in these duct tape edits are canonically children. Characters that are 14 years old, 10 years old, 8 years old, some even being toddlers. There's no doubt that these strange cataloged images are some sort of fetish for John, and understanding that this gross obsession extends to characters that are children makes it so much more chilling. It feels like the more you look into this account, it just gets infinitely more depraved with every new post. New story posts are made almost daily, and John's been incredibly active on this account, even responding to some comments mocking him. While the content on the John Whalen 69 account is incredibly disturbing, some of you may be thinking that he's not technically causing any real-world harm. No matter how bizarre his fetish may be, these are all fictional characters, and he's not really putting anyone in harm's way. Well, at first, I thought the same thing. That was until I realized this is not John's only account. John Whalen has not just one, not two, but 3 accounts where he posts about his unusual and disturbing obsessive fetish. The discovery of these secondary accounts not only made me realize the much larger scale of his unsettling online activity, but it also opened up new avenues for his depraved behavior. This rabbit hole had suddenly tripled in size, turning this seemingly harmless fetish into a network of accounts, helping circulate highly illegal content involving real children. When you go to John's main account, you'll find that he's following 5 other people. One of these accounts is Deweese5164. The account's name is John Whalen Jr., featuring a profile picture that seems to be John as a child with his father. Upon analyzing the posts, you'll soon find that the content on this page is almost identical to his main account. Similar screen recordings of popular kids' TV shows and movies, as well as photo collages and the infamous story highlights of the duct tape edits. The sheer amount of content on this page is staggering, with 3,407 posts in contrast to John Whalen 69's 142. Not to mention 56 new photo albums on the story highlights. And it's within one of these story highlights that the most damning and repulsive evidence would be found. Hidden inside one of the collages found on this page, there's a photo of two real young girls, seemingly 5 to 8 years old, one of them with duct tape over her mouth. The origin of this photo and the identities of the two girls is unknown. This discovery is nothing short of absolutely horrifying. The content shown on John's accounts has suddenly gone from obsessive and bizarre, but ultimately harmless, to featuring real-life children that may be in an incredibly dangerous situation. It's unknown if this photo originates from a TV show or movie, or a piece of content found on the internet, but it seems to be a screenshot of a video recorded with a home video camera. But wherever the photo may have originated from, most users, including myself, are just hoping that it's not a product of the worst-case scenario, that the source is John himself, and he directly played a role in the production of whatever this photo is. So, what are we to make of all of this? A lot of the content on these Instagram pages, especially those featuring child characters, is undeniably concerning. Despite this, I don't think that we should get ahead of ourselves in believing that John Whalen is definitively putting anyone in danger, or that this is the beginning of a situation that many have compared to the likeness of Smart Schoolboy 9. As many commenters have pointed out, it's a very likely possibility that John Whalen has some sort of low-functioning autism. Across his thousands and thousands of posts, he has only spoken in one of them, and the angle that this is all some sinister kind of hyperfixation can help explain the relentlessly obsessive nature of his posting. While this explanation definitely helps us understand some of what's happening here, it's absolutely not an excuse for some of John's more depraved behavior, such as screen recording scenes from movies where child actors are tied up whilst bondage fetish websites are being advertised on screen, and, of course, the mysterious photo of the unnamed girls. To some, the behavior of John Whalen might not even be all that surprising. As mentioned earlier, bizarre fetish content, especially those involving cartoon characters, has become incredibly prevalent online. For the average user of DeviantArt and other adjacent websites, the content on these pages is what some would consider to be relatively tame. While I don't necessarily relate to viewing this type of content and behavior as normal, I do understand that for many internet users, it's not something that's unheard of. What I have a harder time understanding, however, is Instagram's inaction towards these profiles. For multiple years, John Whalen's accounts have flown under the radar, largely because the actual content he was posting didn't outwardly contain his fetish. A vast majority of the reels posted on John's main accounts are simply uninteresting screen recordings of kids' TV shows and movies. All of the fetish content is hidden inside the story highlights, so the few people that had his content pushed to them via the algorithm obviously didn't have the foresight to look deeper into his account and find the more disturbing material. Fast forward to today, and there are Reddit posts about John, multiple YouTube videos looking into him, an Instagram reel with over 100,000 likes, and hundreds of comments from disturbed viewers all over his posts. Anyone can realize that at this point, his accounts have likely been mass reported by hundreds, if not thousands, of viewers, and his content, including real children displayed in a sexual, fetishized context, is in direct violation of Instagram's terms of service. Whether Instagram just doesn't care about these accounts, or they're actually ignorant to John's content, I simply don't know. What I do know is that this behavior involving minors is repulsive. I'm hoping that more light is shed on this account and that at some point a full-scale investigation will be launched to determine the identities of the real children hidden inside his posts. For now, John's behavior hasn't escalated to the point of law enforcement intervention, but the mass posting of his bizarre and disturbing content has cemented his legacy as one of Instagram's most concerning users. For years, people interested in the macabre and dark side of the internet have grown accustomed to the popular disturbing content from their respective countries. North American internet users are well familiar with the most popular English creepypastas and infamous scary videos online. Some may even seek out their own discoveries, finding the most obscure, disturbing media in the very depths of the internet, unseen by the larger public eye. But what can we find when we delve even deeper beyond our familiar realm of understanding into content from other parts of the world? On Monday, June 3rd, 2025, a post would be made to the r/Internet Mysteries subreddit by user okfaithfulness4715, detailing an incredibly disturbing Instagram account that they had stumbled upon. Instagram user posting videos ripping open caskets and showing off remains of the dead. I wasn't sure where to post this to, but when I saw this pop up on my feed, I knew this had to be seen outside of the small bubble this content exists in. I can't see how this is seen as okay. He's seen ripping open protective layers of the caskets he's removed, throwing entire corpses into trash piles, and standing on top of partially uncovered bodies, all while filming it and posting it to Instagram. I'm not sure what to make of this, but exploring his account is one hell of a trip. The post gives the handle of the user, Wellington Jose 9610, as well as a few attached images. One being the account's main page, and another of a man standing inside of a shallow grave. The third and final image, however, is so disturbing that it can't possibly be shown on YouTube. As the title of the post mentions, the third image displays a fully decomposed corpse from a grave that's been dug up in broad daylight, its lower jaw unhinged, and its bony fingers resting upon its lower torso. The photo is a horrific scene, and visiting the account raises more questions than answers. Some of the posts on the Wellington Jose account are entirely innocuous. A video of Jose and his child playing on a playground, a text post thanking God for blessing him and his family, a shopping mall on a Saturday. The wholesome content found on his page is of course in stark contrast to the much darker posts. There are over 100 posts on Jose's page featuring real human bones and rotting cadavers, sometimes even destroying mausoleums and smashing tiles on the graves. The videos containing the skeletons are incredibly graphic, complete with cockroaches and other insects feasting on the fully decomposed and discolored remains. For the most part, Jose handles the bodies with care, delicately removing the garments covering them and making sure not to damage the remains. A few of the videos on his page are not as careful, however. He can be seen in a few videos violently ripping off the cloth that's been placed over the remains in their casket, and in one example, completely ripping off the lower jaw of the skeleton. Many viewers have suspected that Jose is a grave robber, and his intentions in opening these caskets is purely malicious. For most users seeing these videos for the first time, however macabre it may be, grave robbing is the most obvious explanation for what they're seeing. However, there's another explanation for what might be going on here. As one commenter suggests, "I may be incorrect, but I believe in some South American countries, families must pay rent for graves whether they are filled or not. If they fail to pay, then cemetery staff will clear the grave out to make room for someone who can pay rent. It's a very brutal way of doing things, I understand. It's possibly a combination of his cultural norms and his job which have led him to become desensitized and not see it as a big deal to post." According to this user's comment, and many others on the same thread, this manner of handling corpses is incredibly common in Brazil, the country that Jose is from, as well as Denmark, Germany, and some countries in Southeast Asia, to name a few. While this explains the exhumations of the corpses, there's still one question left unanswered. Why is this being posted online? As we've already covered, most of this content is incredibly disturbing, and the chance that Jose is getting permission from the families of the dead to post these videos online is almost surely zero. Especially considering the videos where the bodies aren't handled with such deliberate care, I can't imagine that the people in these videos would have consented to their corpses being shown on camera, let alone being violently ripped apart or thrown into piles of garbage for the world to see. And to the extent that the corpses are being removed from their resting place, where are they going? Despite many commenters speculating and directly asking, there are no videos on Jose's account showing or explaining where the bodies are sent to. In the end, the Wellington Jose account really just shows the true depths of the online media we skim through every day. Alongside the countless meme pages, cooking videos, clips from TV shows, and other innocent content, there's just as many unseen profiles hiding incredibly disturbing content out of view by the average user. Weird, possibly illegal, AI-generated account. Hi y'all, this is my first post on here, but I think the information I have could be pretty significant. So, I was scrolling on Reels when I encountered a video that stuck out to me. On the surface, this channel seems like your typical AI slop content farm. However, watching the content brings up some pretty disturbing facts. First of all of the videos depict what-if situations involving kids. For example, their most popular video depicts what would happen if kids ran an airport. In almost every video, cheese pizza, cupcakes, or candy parades are mentioned in some way. For those of you unaware, these are all terms connected to quite illegal material. Already, this seems weird, but the rabbit hole goes deeper. If you take a look at their following, you will see that they follow an account named USA_kids. This other channel is almost 100% an illegal content ring, as there are bots in the comments of the videos of this account linking to telegrams that contain who knows what. If any of you decide to go digging deeper, I urge you to use extreme caution, especially when dealing with links. I may just be paranoid, but something seems incredibly off here. This post was made to the r/Instagram subreddit by user ResidentCheck427 on July 14th of 2025. In the post, the OP recounts their experience stumbling upon an account posting AI-generated content of children that was linked to possible illegal content groups on Telegram. The account in question is called Kid Power HQ, a seemingly innocent AI content farm that posts videos targeted towards children. Videos like, what if kids ran the airport? What if kids controlled the movies? And if kids ruled the world, what would happen? On the surface, it's completely ordinary, but taking a deeper look at the language in these videos reveals something very disturbing. Repeating phrases like cheese pizza, tickle fights, and glitter showers are seemingly mentioned consistently in every video. And just like the original post said, these phrases are commonly used by predators to obscure their language when communicating about CP and other crimes involving children. Taking a look at the other Instagram accounts that Kid Power HQ follows, you'll spot one particular account that sticks out. USA Kids is another account that appears harmless, primarily reposting popular videos and memes about children for parents. All normal, right? Well, the comments are a different story. Multiple users are commenting under these harmless posts with GIFs that simply say, link in bio, and what they're referring to is sickening. In the bios of these commenters' profiles, there appears a Telegram group chat invitation, which upon clicking will lead you to one of the most disgusting realms of the internet. In these group chats, predators are creating, selling, and distributing CP, a global black market for the most disgusting material imaginable, operated by hundreds of groups that use apps like Kik, Telegram, and Discord to conduct their operation. And unfortunately, USA Kids isn't the only account connected to this larger operation. In the bio of the USA Kids profile, the creator has put an Amazon affiliate link to Munka Productions, an Amazon seller profile that has self-published 3 children's coloring books. The affiliate link appears in numerous other accounts posting children's content, most notably Seahawks Kids, a strange community account posting pictures of babies and young children in Seahawks merchandise, as well as sponsoring and promoting a multitude of Seattle businesses. For example, Capital Pizzeria. Just like USA Kids, the comment section is once again filled with brand new profiles leaving link in bio GIFs and requesting to directly message the owner of Seahawks Kids. The intentions behind this account are truly a mystery. It seems impossible for an account that has a large community of fans backing them to be secretly contributing to an illegal Telegram predator ring. Parents that are fans of the Seahawks are sending in pictures of their children to this account daily, and the traction has grown so large that the account has been covered on Seattle's Channel 4 News. It's unclear if Seahawks Kids has any involvement with Kid Power HQ and USA Kids, but it's very unnerving when you notice the connections. Could the Moonka Productions link just be an accident, or is there something much more concerning happening behind the curtain that we may never uncover?